Alright, welcome to 2019. This could be my only video, and just going to go around and show the things that are growing in the garden. And just a reminder that if you're watching this video, you probably need to get a life. But anyway, I'm going to go around and show what's happening in 2019. This is a blackberry that we're looking at right here, and I think I'm going to get fruit on here for the first time. I think that's what those flowers mean. This is an apple tree that I've shown before. Freedom apple, no fruit yet. Garlic around the tree, and very small, but there's cilantro growing back behind there in that little spot right there. Over here I have cucumbers that are going to vine up the fence there, and I do have at least one on each plant that I was looking at yesterday. There's one in there somewhere. This is a grapevine. Again, I know I've shown this before, but I do believe that I've got fruit on it this year. Not 100% sure. Try to zoom in on it here, because I don't know what grapes look like at that small stage, but that may be a cluster of grapes there. And so maybe I'll have grapes this year. What I do know is that grapevines grow well on wood piles, and that's growing on a wood pile. So someday, maybe this year, maybe a future year. These are blueberries, which were pretty much doing nothing a couple weeks ago, and I did amend the soil to make it more acidic, and they seem to be responding well to that. These are new this year. 2 raised beds, 4x8. Just made them about 2 weeks ago and filled them 2 weeks ago. Planted them out maybe a week and a half ago. I just wasn't happy with the results that I was getting with the wood chip garden in this space right here. I think it just needs more time to build the soil. So I went ahead and built these. This is not the final resting place for these. The pool will eventually be gone, and I think that's where I would have some raised beds after I get the backyard just exactly the way I want it. So these would move over to there and be just an addition to some other raised beds that I have plans for. But here they are right now. That's leaf and mushroom compost that I got from Flowerland to fill them. And in this bed right here we have broccoli and cabbage, red acre cabbage, and cauliflower. The 2 on the outside here and there are tomatillos. That's a pepper of some kind. These 3 things here are peppers, and then I have tomatoes. I believe these 3 are beefsteak tomatoes. Also, just coming up in 2 rows, like right here and then right here, are 2 different varieties of carrots. And also these are these. I just planted these in here yesterday. I probably have it too crowded in here, but I'm going to try to make it work because I just am struggling for space right now. These are Armenian cucumbers, that and that right there. And I figure if they take off, then I can let them drape over the side here, and the cucumbers can grow along the ground. In this one also, I have mostly tomatoes. That's a row of broccoli down the middle, a row of 3 broccolis. That is also an Armenian cucumber. These 2 little things here are basil, and then these 3 tomatoes here are early girl tomato. Those 3 over there are Roma tomato, and these are something else, big boy or something like that tomato. Okay, and then you might also see the marigolds that are in here in both beds that are supposed to deter some types of pests. Hopefully rabbits will stay out of here with the marigolds in. And what else was there? I don't remember. Oh, carrots in this one too. There's a whole row of carrots that just goes like this, and then another whole row, all different varieties, 4 different varieties in the 2 different beds, rows of carrots. There's a book that was written many years ago called Tomatoes Love Carrots, or Carrots Love Tomatoes, I can't remember which. And apparently they're very good for companion planting, so we're going to try that out. This is comfrey right here. I had a comfrey growing in a pot last year, and it didn't really do much. I grew it from seed. It popped up, and then it really didn't do much. And I basically poured it out and let it sit on the ground here all winter. And in the spring, it was still seemed alive, so I turned it up right side and plopped it in the ground, and it's growing again. And it actually went to seed. That's what the purple flowers are now doing, is going to seed. Over here in the corner, this is a white strawberry. I'm sure I showed this once before. It was 1 single plant. They were kind of expensive. I think it was like $4 a plant, so I just bought one. and knowing that I wouldn't get fruit on it the first year. And it expanded, of course, because strawberries put out runners. You can see it's doing that again. This right here is a runner. That will be another strawberry plant. That'll probably be another one at the end, and then there's another runner going this way. That'll be a strawberry plant. I did observe one flower on this in the spring. I thought I might get one white strawberry, but it's not there anymore, so maybe next year. They probably have to pollinate each other, so with one flower I probably had no chance. This is cilantro. Along the back fence here are 2 different kinds of peas. Maybe it's even 3 different varieties of peas. There's just every inch or so is a pea plant. They're starting to take off now. I'd expect in 2 weeks or so to be able to be picking peas off of those plants. This is cilantro. I think I already said that. This is Minutina. This is a variety pack of lettuce. This is what's called Holland Greens. I tried to grow all these last year and I had a whole lot better success this year. This here is, right there is Swiss chard. This is one plant of iceberg lettuce. I'm thinking maybe I can get that to turn into a head of lettuce. And then I have some dill over there. This bed, of course, we're getting into summer now, so the lettuce will bolt here pretty quickly. And this bed is going to be peppers. I'm going to show you the peppers that I have still to put in here. Anyway, this is my apple. Now, again, if you've seen other videos from last year, this was the tree that was doing the best. That's a Golden Delicious. It was the tallest one and seemed to really be taking off. And this one was the one that was doing second best. Well, strangely, this one is the one that has all the fruit on it. This one has one Golden Delicious apple, and I don't have high hopes for it because it just looks like a sitting duck there ready for a pest to take it out. But who knows? Maybe I'll get one Golden Delicious apple. Here, I think I counted something like 12 or 13 or 14 Liberty apples. So I have Liberty, and then that one over there that I showed before, that's Freedom. Liberty and Freedom apples. The Liberty is doing the best. Just this morning, I brought my lemon and lime tree outside. Finally, it's the mornings, or the nighttime, I should say, are not getting below 60 degrees, so I can have them outside. Of course, they don't look good. They lost all their leaves in the house, but we'll see how they do now that they're outside. These are just extra tomatoes that I grew from seed, Brandywines, and I just didn't have the heart to let them die in their little pots, so I decided to pot them up here and see what they do. Same thing with these here. These actually are seeds that I had collected last year. If I remember right, these are yellow Brandywine and pink Brandywine, which I had seed packets for. These I collected from a Brandywine tomato from last year. All right, I think that's everything in here. Quickly go over to the strawberry patch. On the way, you'll see the peppers that I still have to plant. A few other things too, just broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, tomatillos that I didn't have room for. I'm still trying to find room for. And then everything in here in the red cups, those are peppers that will be going where I had showed the lettuce before. Here's the best part of the spring and summer so far would be our strawberry patch. Marie Debois, I don't know how to pronounce it, Debois, strawberries up to about here, and then I can't remember this one, Everglow or something like that. And these are just doing absolutely phenomenal. If I remember right, I planted these 3 years ago, and this was 6 plants, and this was 3 plants. It was 10 and 10, and like most of them died because they sent them to me too early in the winter, and a lot of the crowns just died. But a few of them survived, and 3 plants turned into all this in just 3 years. To the point where I'm just having to cut runners now because I don't want them to get into the asparagus and such. So they're delicious. I've been picking them and eating them and picking them and giving them to people, and really haven't even picked them enough, and a lot of them are just rotting on the vine. But it's really great to come out and eat something so delicious right in the backyard. That is all Mary Washington asparagus that's now all gone to fern pretty much. I may do a little experiment here in July and try to snap some of them off and see if I can stimulate some growth again and have a late summer harvest of asparagus. Right there you can see a purple passion asparagus sprouting up right there, and that is actually the better tasting ones if you're going to eat them raw. Purple passion asparagus, delicious. These are carrots that I'm letting to go to seed after the second season. If they flower out and they go to seed, I had 2 rows of carrots here in the fall, and we were even eating them in the winter and spring, and then I ripped out what was left except for these 3, and we'll see what we get for seed. I've got Black Beauty zucchini growing here, Romanesco zucchini growing there. This is kale that I've gone to seed. I'm sure I've shown this many times before, and I don't do anything with this. It's just been here 3 years, and they die off and they come back, and they go to flower and they die off and they come back. Unfortunately, I don't really like them, because it would be great if I liked them, given that it seems to just be a perennial plant that comes back year after year. And I don't know what its future is, because it's right in the middle of my strawberry patch, but it survives for now. Now I'm going to make one prediction here, because I've shown tomatillos in the past, these big plants. I had a tomatillo plant last year that was right on this side of that rock that was probably 4 or 5 feet tall and wider than it was tall. And it was not something that I planted. It was just where a tomatillo had laid to rest and gave up the ghost, and laid all winter and let its seeds go down, and a plant sprouted there in the spring. And I think that may be happening right here. And I don't know, we'll have to keep an eye on them. We'll have to watch out and not step on them. But I believe that these little green plants, it is hard for me to see this in the sun, but I think I'm on the right spot here. Oh, is that it? Anyway, those little plants right there, maybe you can see them and I just can't because I'm in the sun, are actually the same thing. I believe a tomatillo just died right there and let its seeds go, and right here in my big pile of wood chips, it's going to sprout new plants, and I'll probably have to thin it so that it's just the one healthiest one. And maybe I have the same thing going right here behind this. This is the remnant of a tomatillo plant, and those little green things I'm sure are tomatillo sprouts. So I have others, seedlings that I planted, and we'll just have to see which ones do better. But the last 2 years I've had great harvests of tomatillos.